of the evening will be performing of Guts and Gaydar. Please welcome to the stage Suzanne Pullen.
I grew up at the intersection of the gayest street and the most Jewish street in Southern California. The large, Zoftic Russian women in loud flower print muumuus toddled down Fairfax between Planters Jewish Deli and the farmer's market. The gay men owned Santa Monica in their leather assless chaps between the 24-hour book circus and the adult unicorn emporium. As a consequence, I had what you might call really good gaydar. I just felt really guilty about it. In the 1980s, I lived with my parents, two closeted lesbians near Fairfax and Santa Monica in West Hollywood, now affectionately known as WeHo. The only men I ever knew were the ones that I passed outside the gay bars and bathhouses on my nearly 2-mile bike ride to the public pool and library near San Vicente and Melrose. They were gorgeous, smart, affectionate. The ones I got to know at the candy counter at the pharmacy or the register at the novelty shop were super nice, generous, and accepted me for who I was. Glasses, mousy hair that was bleached from the chlorine and looked green in the wrong light, and a high, squeaky pitched voice. So, of course, it's no surprise that I am usually attracted to gay men. Luckily, I'm armed with my gaydar. I can usually tell when the boy I like likes other boys, so we can avoid all those awkward confessions. And then I usually signal that I'm an ally by telling him that my parents are lesbians. Like Todd Sweeney, for example. Yes, for those of you that are familiar with theater, that was his real name. Fairfax and Melrose, and he joined us mid-year as a makeup artist. He wore a puffy brown leather jacket, shaggy mop-top hair. A bunch of girls thought he was just so cute. I knew better than to waste my time pining over him. But we hung out anyway. Walking home one day while singing the female's lead solo in the musical we both wish we had, Todd turned to me and said, "Suzanne, I could totally go straight for you. You could totally turn me." Now, I was a 16-year-old virgin who'd never been kissed, but even I knew that's not the way that it worked. I went to the bride parade. I had watched Phil Donahue. I read Dr. Who's Guide to Good Sex, but still, I knew it didn't work that way. Now, when I was 17 years old, I left for San Francisco in 1987 to go to college. But the bathhouses had closed. The men that I was friendly with in the shops on Santa Monica had disappeared. And I knew that unprotected sex could kill you. I was still a virgin when I met and fell very hard for Mike Trainer on the forensic circuit. That's competitive speech and debate, not CSI for all of you. I was competing for San Francisco State. Go Gators! And he was competing for UOP. And we would see each other on the college campuses, and we would walk together holding hands, mostly in places where nobody could see us. And when we would sit together and have lunch, he would stare at me with those piercing blue eyes. And he would talk about all kinds of things, mostly about himself. He would tussle his jet black hair, and I would think about leaning in to kiss him. And then he would tell me how he didn't believe in long-term relationships because they never worked out long distance. Now, I had no idea what being in a relationship was like, long distance or the next dorm, but I kind of felt like we were already in one. I mean, I saved every little note he gave me. I saved and pined over the cards. Okay, the one card that I just had to trust that this was going to work. So I was really surprised when we went to nationals in Fargo, North Dakota, and somebody came to a lobby full of us and said that they found Mike in bed with another Mike. All eyes looked at me. My heart was beating, my mouth went dry, and then someone said, oh, he's that way because his parents are gay. Growing up in WeHo, we learned to check ignorance early. I have lesbian parents and I'm straight, so you know what the hell you're talking about. But I was shocked. I was so devastated. He had gay parents and he didn't tell me? I had never met anyone who had gay parents before. Didn't he know that he could trust me with that? It was the first time that my gaydar didn't work. It was also the first time I realized what benefit I had to gay men. Covered. So you can imagine the next year in 1990 when I found myself attracted to Stephen Kocher, a public speaker from the University of Southern California. I found myself doubting my instincts. But he had this dirty, wavy blonde hair, impeccable suits, and a great smile, and I think he flirted with me. I'm sure he flirted with me. But I couldn't trust my gaydar anymore. I was still a virgin, college sophomore, and I was really beginning to wonder if I could trust my instincts at all. I was so confused I had to ask someone, so I cornered his sister one day between rounds. Kim, I have something to tell you. I have a crush on your brother. Oh my God, you should totally go for him! What? I thought he was gay. Oh, no, he just broke up with his girlfriend. You should totally go for him. Are you sure? Yes, I'm positive. You guys would make such a cute couple. Maybe he did like me. But my gaydar was going wild. No guy that wasn't gay had ever liked me before. And I was too shell-shocked from the Mike Traina incident, so I didn't say anything. Then, in the mid-90s, like clockwork, I started getting Christmas cards from him. Maybe he did like me. But he must still, it must be a sign. It must be a sign that he's gay, because what straight man would ever send Christmas cards unless his girlfriend or his mother made him do it? But why else would he keep writing to me, to someone 400 miles away in San Francisco? So one year I decided I was going to beat him to the punch. I was going to send him a Christmas card first, damn it. So Kim had given me her number to KIT after college, so I called her mother's house. Hi, Mrs. Kocher. This is Suzanne. I was friends with Steve and Kim in the college forensic circuit, and he sends me cards every year, and this year I want to beat him to the punch. Can you give me his address? Oh, of course. He's living in San Francisco now. Really? I live in San Francisco. Where is he? Oh, he's working at the corner of California and Sansom. I work at the corner of California and Sansom. Holy shit! We've been working in the same building for months and we've never seen each other. This must be a sign. So I went down to the lobby for us and I got a single rose and a note and I sent it up to his office and it said, meet me in the lobby, noon. Twirled me around and he gave me the biggest bear hug. Oh my gosh, I knew he liked me. So we went around the corner for lunch at this really popular Chinese restaurant. We sat in the window and we were talking and we were leaning in close. I could totally feel this vibe. And then he leans in and he says to me, Suzanne, I have something to tell you. You're gay, right? Oh my God, how did you know? She didn't believe me. Turns out years ago he didn't believe it either. But that's my gaydar for you. Now, I'm not exactly sure why our paths crossed again, or why we kept in touch. It's not like I didn't have a plethora of other gay men friends already. I mean, I needed some of the straight men to feel about me the way the gays did. I wanted to have a family. I wanted a boyfriend. I wanted a partner. But doing that as a single heterosexual woman in San Francisco at the millennium, okay, really, any era? Please, right? It's impossible. Until after a very long drought, I met a sailor. At a youth hostel in Monterey in 2004. We started dating casually, even though I knew he was a hot mess. An Irish ultimate in the process of a divorce who'd witnessed the bombings during the Troubles in Ireland and who was still drinking away his undiagnosed PTSD. I know, right? But when you've been in the desert for as long as I've been, a sailor can really quench your thirst. You know what I mean? So each time we got together, he begged me, "Oh, Suzanne, can I come in you without a condom?" And after saying no for my entire sexual life, I finally, in a moment of hormone-induced irrationality, ignored everything I learned in WeHo and said, yes. When the pregnancy test came back positive, he begged me for an abortion. "Oh, you're a feminist, right? You can end it, right? You don't have a problem with that, right?" No, because I'm a feminist, it means that I believe I can do what I want and make the decision I need to make. Ironically, because of our different moral and political viewpoints, he assumed that I'd have no problem having an abortion, and I was so surprised and shocked that he asked me to have one. I was 34. I'd been single since the first Clinton ran for office. I always imagined being a parent. And now that this little being had grown inside of me, I was scared. But I was already imagining my life as a mother. He just wasn't ready to be a father. So I was at a crossroads. And I trusted my gut that it would all work out, that my family and friends would be there for me. 6 months later, his heart stopped beating. Avery Pullen was born still, March 3rd, 2005. He was so small. He's the biggest thing I've ever done. His father never met him, just like I never met my father, just like my father never met his father, just like my mother never knew her father. Avery taught me what it meant to be a parent and how much I wanted to be a mom. More than I needed to wait for a boyfriend or a partner. But then again, growing up with same-sex parents long before it was a national trend, I knew my definition of family wasn't limited to marriage or biology. Okay, having a little sperm doesn't hurt. Turns out that's something San Francisco has a whole lot of. Steve had been very nice during my pregnancy with Avery, even offering to let me have a baby shower at his house, told me if there was anything I needed, just ask. But when I invited him and his partner for brunch 9 months later, I don't think he was expecting me to take him up on his offer. So Steve, do you want to make a baby with me? 10 years later, Steve is the active co-parent of our amazing 9-year-old son, Quinn. And we're your typical modern San Francisco multiple households, dozens of aunties and uncles, countless friends, and lots of grandparents, including a pair of lesbian grandmas who are finally out of the closet in Arizona. Just goes to show you. You may never know why you connect with someone or why your paths cross or where the road in life will take you. But if you trust your gut, you might just like where you wind up in the end. Now, about getting mommy a boyfriend.
First half. Before I turn you loose at intermission, I wanted to let you know that out in the lobby, there's this fabulous email list for Solo Sundays, and if you sign up for it, you can have chocolate. And there's also a handwriting contest. So if you have the neatest handwriting on the form, you will win a pair of tickets to a future solo Sunday. So that is a great deal. You can also sign up to find out more about the performances from any of the other performers who are performing tonight. So please consider signing up. Use the facilities back here. Go get some air and some chocolate out there. Sign up. Thank you. See you in a few.